I started using drugs when I was 12. My personal recovery started 36 years ago. And one of the places that here in Uzbekistan I would send people to is Gratos.
What's the purpose of your visit to Uzbekistan?
So this is the purpose of my trip. You know, a couple of times I overdosed and I was practically dead. It hasn't been that long in this country that addiction is being treated as a serious mental health and health in general issue. For me, drugs and alcohol, those were the answers to my struggle. You know, towards the end, I was drinking like 4 liters of vodka a day and doing about 4 or 5 grams of cocaine. I knew that I was unsuccessful in using drugs.
Первый в Узбекистане реабилитационный центр «Гратус» – это санаторий, расположенный в экологически чистой местности. Это место, в котором зависимые люди находятся до момента стойкой ремиссии, полного излечения симптомов алкоголизма или наркомании. Сюда по приглашению основательницы и владелицы клиники «Гратус» Фирузы Аманулаевны прибыл Оливер Нойберт, специалист в области зависимостей, а также основатель и председатель частной клиники «Вводная» в Швейцарии. Целью визита господина Оливера в санаторий «Гратус» является передача многолетнего опыта в борьбе с зависимостями, современных методик и технологий, используемых в Швейцарии для более эффективного лечения пациентов. Оливер Нойберт является аспирантом в области психологии и консультирования по зависимостям, а также имеет степень магистра по изучению зависимостей в Королевском колледже Лондона. Основанная им частная клиника «Вводная» – это результат долгого пути, который начался с его личного выздоровления от зависимости более 30 лет назад. «Я искренне желаю, чтобы каждый, кто страдает от зависимости, мог найти помощь», – говорит господин Оливер. Лечение зависимости – это очень сложный процесс, охватывающий различные аспекты и требующий долгосрочной перспективы. Оливер подчеркивает эту сложность, заявляя: «Это не только физическое и ментальное здоровье, это сочетание различных факторов».
Одна из бед 21 века – это зависимость человека от алкоголизма, наркомании и игромании. Мы оказываем качественную профессиональную помощь в лечении всех видов зависимости. Мы помогаем с теплотой и заботой буквально за руку пройти этот нелегкий, но очень интересный путь.
Мы решили узнать больше из первых уст о многолетнем опыте мистера Нойберта, о его цели визита в Узбекистан, а также поинтересоваться, как личный опыт с зависимостью повлиял на его работу. What are your first impressions of the work of this sphere in Uzbekistan, and what advice could you give for the development of the field of addiction treatment?
And in addiction recovery, the most important thing is that you have hope, that you come to the belief that recovery is possible, because otherwise treatment is useless. It hasn't been that long in this country that addiction is being treated as a serious mental health and health in general issue. And what I've seen so far, I'm very positive. Yesterday we had the great honor to visit Professor Ashurov Zarifjon and the Center for Mental Health and Narcology of the Republic. I was very happy to see how they approach people, how they treat addiction, and also had the great opportunity to speak with some of the clients. And what touched me quite a lot was to see their faces, to see that they were positive, they had a good outlook, they were interested, and they were smiling. Yesterday afternoon, I had the privilege to visit the mental health med service, and there also I met professionals that had the right dedication. I understand that the early days of recovery, they're super difficult. Everything starts with detox. In my 30 plus years of dealing with addiction, I have never met a single person who ended up having an addiction problem because they were having too much fun. So if you want sustainable recovery, people to live a life that is free from addiction, you have to be able to deal with all of that stuff. You need to have a good team, and around you that is able to help you address all those challenges and find healthy ways to deal with it.
How has your personal experience with addiction influenced your work in this area, and what lessons have you learned from this experience?
My personal recovery started 36 years ago. I started using drugs when I was 12. Pretty soon was using daily. For me, drugs and alcohol, those were the answers to my struggle, you know. So my drug use became daily. It got more and more and more. Towards the end, I was drinking like 4 liters of vodka a day and doing about 4 or 5 grams of cocaine. I was, you know, a couple of times I overdosed and I was practically dead. Treatment 36 years ago, even in Switzerland, there wasn't much. It was more about the drug use, and that we got a grip on quite quickly. I had a great advantage. I had the gift of desperation. I knew that I was unsuccessful in using drugs. I could use as much as I wanted. My bad feelings didn't go away anymore. So I started going to 12-step meetings. I started going to Alcoholics Anonymous because in the clinic they didn't do any treatment. I started to see people who I could identify with, who had been in the same position as I had, but were living happy lives. In the beginning, that was very confusing. And I didn't believe them. I just kept going back because I felt there is something here. In Narcotics Anonymous, talk about the solution. And for me, that was an entirely new outlook on life.
What's the purpose of your visit to Uzbekistan?
So one of the reasons for my visit is I want to get to know local treatment offers, because you know, my mission is to help people, and just if somebody can't afford it, to tell them, no idea, go away. We don't do that. We help people find treatment. And one of the places that here in Uzbekistan I would send people to is Gratus. They work with ethical standards, they have good detox, they can take care of people. So the purpose of my visit is a couple of things, you know, like I need to know who is offering treatment. Are they good quality? Can I give that make that contact for somebody? Or am I sending them to some hellhole where they don't know anything about treatment? The other reason is that we are an offer that is very suitable for VIP clients. And I know centers all over the world, including the Middle East and so on, where the locals who are well known, who have the financial resources, they don't want to go there because people know them. We can treat people that don't want to get treated in this country, and we can direct people that are looking for treatment and are not suitable for us because of language or cannot afford it. So this is the purpose of my trip.